Happy Thursday, everybody. February 24th. This is another edition of the Draftbit Office Hour. So, again, twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, we do 1 hour office hour, which are meant to answer any questions you might have or any blockers. And I just invited on stage David. Can you hear me, David? Yeah, here we go. David is a success engineer as well. The Draftbit team. So we're gonna together walk through the list of questions we may have. All right, I see a couple of people joining. So if you're joining us and you do have a question, please use the Ask a Question button below. That's the easiest way to keep us organized and make sure we answer all your questions. If you want to just say hi, you can drop a note on the little chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, something like that. And with that said, I think we can get started. How you doing, David? By the way, I didn't even properly say hi.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna give me 1 sec. We're gonna look at the Ask for Help section of the community.draftbit.com. So that's where, if at any given time you have questions about Draftbit, whether it's during the office hour or not, you can always post your question there. And we have a great team, very responsive success engineers that answer those questions all day long. So that's really your best shot to get unblocked by anything. So let's take those questions one by one. I'm gonna start from the last office hour and see what else is new. So this one, move that out of the way. This one is I'm gonna make sure someone did not already answer that. I think someone did. Let me take a quick look though. Help with implementing a country code picker for phone number. Has anyone implemented country code on screen? I'm trying to find a package that's compatible with Draftbit. All right. This is the country code. Hey, what package is he using here? Oh, country code picker. And Dave, who's part of our team, said, "Hey there, I think it would be simpler for you to just use a variable you need to format it for." Yeah. Does a React Native picker compare allows for images? I can get the country name and call code to appear in the picker, but I'm not sure how an image will be accomplished in the value. So I guess the user want to add the image of the flag, right? That's probably what it is. Can you think of any other reason?
Yeah, so it looked like trying to add like some sort of like picker for phone numbers. So basically, once you like select the country code, the flag of the country like pops up on the side, and they can add the correct phone number for that particular user. I think that's what they're trying to achieve, but I feel like we do that using like a library or like an npm package shouldn't be so difficult.
Yeah, so this one, the one that the user was trying to use seems to be handling the flag and all. So what didn't work about that? Simple features user. Maybe we can try. What did he say didn't work? But I'm not having any luck. Okay, let's give it a quick try. See if we can do it in Draftbit. Use that library. I haven't used the library. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just curious if we had like a particular library for Expo that does this. I'm not sure.
We have a what? Sorry, can you say one more time?
Like if we have like a Expo library that does this too.
Oh, is there? Expo country code picker. Model. Picker. What about this one? This uses the native country picker. Do you know of a specific Expo library, or were you just asking or wondering if there was one?
Yeah, I was just wondering, basically. I don't know if there's one.
So the example I see this one, that's one, and then this one, which is the one the user has been trying. So we're gonna try both. See if we get lucky. All right.
Yeah.
So the first one, I'm gonna call it country picker model. Actually, let me start with the user one, because that way, if we don't go, if it works, it's even easier. Okay, so that's the one, and then I'm going to create another screen for the other one. Country picker model. Okay. I'd like to, okay. I'll do it by name. So, sorry. So I'm going to do, okay. So we're going to start with the model, which is, are we going to start with the model? No, sorry. Okay, we're going to start with the picker. Am I confusing myself? Is codes? I'll make it work. Give me a sec. I don't know. I didn't have coffee this morning. I'm not being very clear. Those are our two options. So we got a code picker and a picker model. Right, this is the picker model. So how does this one work? This is the library. I'm going to try to add it in our custom package. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I did that. We're gonna just be a little naive and copy paste that whole thing, and see what we get. Make sure that the import can work. Okay, so now here's my component. So I'm gonna, yeah, I can get rid of all of this. Save that one just in case. Okay, so we've got a React Native country picker model. We don't need any style. I guess we don't have that source. That's going to be an issue. I'm going to see if we can figure it out. Countries. Right.
Let's check. Okay.
What was it?
Now, let's check the npm page for that particular source/type. I think it's an array or something.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm wrapping that up. Sorry, I didn't quite. Oop. Everything's there. Okay, so what were you saying? I wasn't listening properly.
Yeah, no, just curious about the source/types, just so we can get that imported into this particular component.
Yeah, what do you think that is? How do you think we're going to handle that?
So it depends on the project. I'm trying to where they got this from actually on this page. I'm not really sure. Like where they imported it from. Let me check.
All right, well, let's, I'm going to, and now we get those countries are not. Yeah, that might be a little ambitious, but it was worth trying. Some code. How did I call it again? Pretty picker model. Country. Oh. All right, so we do have a bunch of errors. Well, that's That's odd. What do you do this way? That was odd. Unable to resolve type. Yeah, I guess we don't have that country type.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an issue. What if I don't cast it at all? No. It's not that complicated, so it should be. I bet if I just knew a little bit more about the syntax and what that country is, like that would be fairly doable. All right, for the time being, let me try to use the other one quick. See if that works. So code picker. Add another package. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I think I found what type is. I'm trying to look at their Git page. So okay, let me drop this in the comments.
While you do that, I'm gonna try to copy paste this one. Okay, so we got our country picker now here. I might conflict with this, but it's okay. Spot constant. Okay. Whoop. Code picker. I'll take a look at the thing you put in just a sec as soon as I'm finishing this.
Yeah.
Export. Wait, no, sorry.
Okay, this is actually in TypeScript, though. I'm not sure if that will work.
Oh. Jeez. I do really need that coffee. Okay, so how about this one? Does that get us anywhere? Let's try to add the custom code. Okay.
Can you try the other library?
What was that? Okay,
Say,
so you shared.
I'm like, can we just try the other library? Because even this sample code, right, is currently in TypeScript.
So which one are we referring to? The one, the code picker or the picker model?
Okay, I think it's the code picker.
Okay. Why is nothing showing up here? Am I not? Code picker. There's a show and set show. Oh, okay. Country picker. Okay, let's see. Why is nothing showing up here? It's not how I'm supposed to use it. How am I supposed to use it? I don't know. So I've got my text. There's a touchable, and then there's a text, and then there's the picker. So this one should show up. Oh, did it not? Here we go. They're all set to show true. They should show up. Well, I mean, that should show up at the very least. Why is that not working out? Am I just messing up something with this? Let's see. You know, by the way, if I'm doing something wrong that you're observing.
Yeah, okay, so we went like the first library that we couldn't really find how to undo it. I put it on the second library. I'm just trying to check it here on my end.
Sorry, did you find another library? Is that what you're saying?
No, like we went through like two libraries, right? Like we have two libraries.
Yeah, so you're right. Like, just give me one more second, try to make sense of it. And if that doesn't work, we'll just move code picker. So I'm surprised. Why does that not? At the very least, like, why am I not just saying whatever? What am I doing wrong?
I'll check the console to see if there's any error there.
Yeah, good point. I don't see anything. So that code picker. Okay, so what could be now?
So I can try. Is that web mode? Because I know like custom components don't work on the web.
No, it should. Should see it at the very least. Okay. Oop. Just like that. I just want to just. I'm probably doing something a little dumb. Oh, jeez. I don't know what it is. So, I can't comment on that. Okay, it's okay. I'll comment, change it later. Okay. So why is that not? I'm trying in iOS just to see if what you said might be the issue.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing. Okay, so there's something odd going on I need to address. This is not normal. Maybe let me, like, did I mess up my imports? Let me just go and go back to basics. Okay, so the one I'm going to use, I'm not going to care about any of that. Okay, let's go back to the very, very beginning. Let's try to make it work. I can't picture why that would not work. So let's give that a try. Prettier. Okay, what is going on? That's very all right. I'm gonna go a little more extreme. Let me just. It sounds like there's something odd going on with the custom code. I'm missing.
Yeah.
You know what I bet it is? In like 20 minutes later, I'm gonna realize it was just a 1 little typo or something that I made. It's ridiculous. Okay, so let's try just the error word, the simplest possible example here. And then I'm gonna put in a custom code. Custom code. What? Let me just refresh. Maybe I did something wrong. Okay, so that works. So why on earth am I going back to my app now? Try to figure out what difference. Does any of that make sense to you? I'm very lost here. I'm going to delete this one.
I think I'm trying to consider what the option that they give in that particular example, like for the user to do it manually.
Right. Yeah, sorry. I appreciate that I'm kind of not being very helpful here, but I want to spend another couple of minutes trying to figure this part out. Maybe it's because of the import that breaks. What's going on? Let me try to fix those imports quick. So the one I'm trying to make work is the code picker. So I'm going to remove the other one. This one. Okay. Code picker. I'm not even going to use that. I'm not going to use that. Okay, so now I should have something extremely similar to what I have here. Yeah, I'll make it even constant. Okay. Just a view. Oh, I guess there's no view. Oh, it could be because I don't have a view here now. Okay, let's try that. All right, and now if Expo Go is taking a while to load, it's going to be a perfect storm. All right, I guess that's exactly what that user was running into by saying they tried it and they had no luck.
Trying to find another library. If you find another package that could handle this.
If you find what? Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for another package that could handle this number thing.
Yeah, this is very straightforward. All right, I'm going to move on because this is taking too long to load and we're not making progress. But this is very odd and we'll have to get back to that at some point. It's very, very odd. Okay, there were one question. Is there a way to have a slider that comes from a fetch component and refer to the slider's unique value from each list item? Currently, when I change the value of the slider, it changes the value across all sliders across the list. Come from
George, I can ask the question on the screen. Like you're not sharing your screen, like question.
Yeah, no, I'm reading. I can paste it here, but I'm reading this is the question. Yeah, I'm going to paste it. I'm reading the question from the Ask a Question widget. I'm not looking at the community website. It's Abdullah just asked that question. Do you see it now?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to try to do that in Draftbit? Do you want to take a stab at it?
Okay, so is there a way to have a slider that comes from the fetch components and refers the slider unique value from each list item? Okay. Currently, when I change the value of the slider, changes the value across the slider, the list, across the list. I'm trying to get the exact question and what the issue they're having here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get the link to, in case they have like an image or something that let me just check the community in my end there.
I can kind of take a stab at it while you do that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Right.
find the link to it. Okay.
So let's see, slider, we're going to use a slider component and then we're going to use it inside the fetch. So the way for everybody here, the way the slider component is you give it a data source and then, so for example, I'll give it like 50. And so it's going to be like halfway through. I can also, so it's essentially how slider work. And if you have more than one slider, slider 1, I'm going to call this one slider 2. And so this one is going to be like 75, and they're all going to have different values. Okay, so that works. It's pretty convenient. I can even do a little action on them. So when I change the value, I'm going to log to the console.
The new value.
Yeah, action data. Yeah, I'm going to use this. And same thing for this one. Yeah. So here it is. I'm going to preview it. Geez, we're having issue. Like, is Expo down?
No, I don't think so. I just opened it. It's not.
Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. It's not. Is it working on your hand?
Yeah, Expo is working here. I think yes. We can try like the web preview. That's usually faster.
I am. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Web preview here. It's still taking a long time to load. If we can preview, we're going to be stuck a little bit. Let me try to do it with the...
I guess for this particular question, right, we have to like nest all the sliders in a fetch component.
Right. There is a little bit of a thing to pay attention to when you want to affect the value of one slider when you have more than one inside the fetch. That's what I want to get to. But first, I'm trying to like preview, which doesn't work. Ooh, it's a challenging day today at Office Hour and Draftbit Office Hour. Nothing's loading. Is it? Do you want to? If it's loading for you, do you want to share your screen and take over?
Yeah. Okay. Let me try.
Rahul mentioned try removing the input package, which I did for the first one, but you're right, I didn't remove the second one, so maybe that was messing things up. Let's try again, see if that makes a difference. Yeah, I guess it did. All right, so that import was a little problematic. Okay, so anyway, back to what we were doing. This is a slider, so every time I change it, I'm 30, 37, 39. This one is at 75, so when I move it up, I got it like 77. Then I can move back to the first one. So they both have different values, as you can see. So that works when they're like flat on your screen. Now, what we want to do is use them in fetch components. So I'm going to do a quick endpoint. It's going to take just a second. We're going to use the example data that we have available at Draftbit. I'm going to create an endpoint. What endpoint should I be using? What would make sense to use a slider? Maybe books? Is there? Yeah, there's a rating, so we're going to use
I think we
that.
just need an endpoint that returns a number.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get many books. They're going to be books. Okay. It goes to books. No header. I'm going to test that. Okay, here it is. That's a book with a rating. Here you go, 4.33 or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to have a fetch component that use that service and that endpoint that I just created. And inside that fetch, I'm going to iterate through the list of results. I just need to pass it the list of results. And then I'm going to, for demo purposes, just show like the title of the book for now. So that's it. We have like the whole list of books. What we want to do is show the rating as well. So I'm going to do thing. Okay, so 4.33, 4.48, and all that. So what if for that rating, what if we have a slider instead of just a number? Then we say the value of that slider, it's going to be
You like
it's
mock
going to
data.
be initial value, so rating here. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you can see they're mostly, I guess they're out of, oh, that's going to be a fun thing to do. They're from 0 to 5, it seems. And the slider is from 0 to 100, which, I mean, that's kind of interesting because that's probably a very common use case. So what we can do is write a little custom function that says kind of adjust rating. And all it does is going to return.
Yeah, doesn't the slider itself, like the component, doesn't it have like a way to manage the maximum and the minimum? Like it had like 0 to 100 right now. I think it was like make it to reduce like zero to
Oh, yeah.
five.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's a
let's check
very,
that.
very good. It's a very good point. Let me, now that I started with that, let me just try that, but then we're gonna try your approach. Because if it's the case, that's even a better thing. Okay, so I'm gonna make it very explicit. Here we go. So, yeah, now it should be out of 100. Adjust rating. Change names. Okay. Now I can use that to, right. So now that's it. It's out of 100, which is much better. But you have a very good point. You said you can change the min and max. So let's try that. That would be even simpler. So I'm going to remove my custom function. And it's going to go back to be between 0 and 5. And
Yeah.
the max, sorry, the min is going to be 0 and the max is going to be 5.
Yeah.
And here you go. Wow, that was very clever. I'm glad you mentioned that. Much easier. Don't even have to write a custom function. Now, the issue that who was asking that, by the way, Abdullah, was running into is that then you can control them individually and they were all the same. So let's try to do that. So what I want to have happen is when I move the slider, I want to move the rating. And so I want to save that rating in my database, right? So I'm going to create another endpoint and I'm going to call I'm going to create update rating. is going to be an update of big book. Okay. Is it a patch or I think it's a patch, but we'll figure it out. So now if I do let's go rating. Well, first I need to pass it the ID so I know which one to is that gonna work if I do new rating? Okay, I forgot to do 2. Okay, book ID and new rating. Okay, so the book ID I'm gonna say, for example, like book 2, and the new ID, the new rating right now it's 4.43. I'm going to give it a very bad ratings. Here we go. I'm not totally sure that's going to work, but there's only one way to find out. So let's try that. Okay, I got an error there. And the rating was not updated. I believe what I have to do instead is to go to that specific ID, book ID to.
So I think the issue. I'm trying to like read this question again, right? I feel like when he changes like the value of one slider, it's affecting like every other slider.
Right. Yeah. So
Like,
closing that for a sec. So here I can see like I can change the value of 1 and it's going to be fine. It's not going to affect the other.
Right?
What was that?
Yeah, but I think that the issue is he had, but it works fine here. Abdullah, do you have any other? I think he's in the comment section, right? So, okay, that's not the issue.
All right. Well, what he's trying to like keep an eye on the chat. I want to show that we can essentially move that around and it will change the value in the back end, because I think that illustrates what most people are going to try to do. So while we wait for more detail, I'm going to try to do that. Update book. Going to be what did I say? I said patch update. Book. I'm going to give it an ID.
Okay, when I change.
Okay, what error am I running into here? It doesn't look.
Okay, so my sliders, but for some reason, they're all referring to the same field.
Oh, I missed.
Okay. They're all referring to the same field. Okay, so I think, like, if you check the chat, it looks like when he changes the value for like an independent slider, right? It's referring to like the same field, like probably had like the same field name, that sort of thing. So
Right. So you want to. It's not that they don't move independently; it's that they don't save independently. Is that correct?
yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure you can see my screen here, but I'm looking at the app that that person shared. I guess you can see it now. Okay, this is not the most helpful. I can't see it here. All right, but I'm gonna. So Let me finish the example because at least that'll be valuable for the broader use case. So we've got books, and then I'm going to update just one book. As I move the slider, I want that one book rating to change. So I'm going to do a patch on that. So I did the endpoint. It worked. I don't know if you guys were following, but it saved it there. So now if I put the Hunger Game, I need to connect it. So now when the value changes, I want to do a well, my API request to that service and that specific endpoint to update the book. And I'm going to give it the ID of the specific book. Okay. So now let's see. I have the example here. The first one is the Hunger Game, and it's 4.3. So what if I move that here? Try to reload. All right. So as you can see, it's not clear that I did that. Let me try again. Yeah, actually, it saved it here. So now if I move to like all the way to the top, I'm going to move it to, let's see. It didn't work. All right, let me try a little debug here. Okay. I'm going to, by the way, hide those first two because it's a little confusing. Okay. So now I got my title, I got my thing. Perfect. So I'm going to move the Hunger Game to 0. Okay. So did it save? It did not save. Why didn't it save? Oh, wait. Never mind. Why didn't it save this one? It got the ID. Let me try this one. Okay, now I put this one at 1. The second one. Doesn't work. Why does not? Well, let me try a couple more things. Okay, so they both now stuck at 2.2. The console log is showing the 5. So I mean, like the value is correct here. Oh, I know what I did. It's a dumb mistake. I hard coded it. So this is not what you want. That's why it wasn't working. So, I can do it at like 1S, but then I need to override it, obviously. So let me test. So I did the second book at 1. So it should be correct here. Okay, perfect. I'm going to save that. And now on my slider, I have the option to select the book rating I want, and I'm going to give it why can't I give it the data as well? The ID is going to be this one, and this should have, oh, no, that's not it. Why don't I see the data? Oh, that's a bug. You should be seeing, yeah, that's an unfortunate bug. See how when we do the log to console, you get that action data, right? So the data that comes directly from that component. But that doesn't seem to be available when I do the API request. Or maybe it's because I need to refresh. If that's not there, that's a pretty significant bug that we're gonna have to address. Something must have changed here. Yeah. Well, okay. That's probably why that person wasn't able to use it. I'm assuming. Let me read quickly at first, by the way. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like Abdullah we're talking about the same issue right now. So we'll look into that. That's an issue. What you should be seeing in this dropdown is the value that you get from that specific component. That one, not all of them, just that specific one. I really don't know why it's not showing up here. I mean, I can demonstrate by doing like, we can set it to a custom value, like book reading 3, and so every time I move the cursor now, everything's going to be set up to 3, the same way it was hard coded before. So like I move it to like to 1, it goes back to 3 because I hard coded to 3. So as soon as we fix that and you can select the right component in there, you should be able to use those sliders. Let's do it again. So I'm moving into 5, but it goes back to 3. At least the rest of the mechanic is working. Yeah. All right. Well, we found a bug. Appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. The action value. That's what you need. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, David?
Yeah, I know exactly. So it's the action value, right? So on change, like once you like toggle or like switch on the slider, right? It's supposed to like give you the new value, right? So that's where the issue is.
All right. Cool. Is there? I don't see any other question here. Let me go back to the community. Oh, wait, there is a follow-up question. Will I be able to refer to the action value in the text field above it? In the text field. So here, you using the thing you're getting from the database. You won't be able to use the action value, but it should be fine. I would argue it should be better because like what you're doing is updating the database, and then our backend, like React query, make sure that your data is always going to be up to date. So like in your text fields or text input, just use the one you get from the database, and then all you have to do in the slider is update the database, and everything will be up to date. So hopefully that
Yeah,
addresses.
but in this case, right, the way he describes this issue, I think for him, I think if he uses like if he assigns like you like a set variable action, right, and the label above it is assigned directly to the variable. So when he changes it, it immediately syncs and
Well, you can't use the set variable action when you're inside the fetch. I mean, you can, but it's not going to work because you're going to have, you will need to dynamically create 200 value. You know what I mean? So you can't really have like a screen level variable inside the fetch. Or what's going to happen is you're going to start overriding the same value every time, which maybe is what you meant. I don't know. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
yeah, it does make sense.
So Abdul asks, so I just have to refresh the fetch? It will be done automatically for you. So you should not have to worry as long as this is actually kind of why we have those, how do you say, those object type. So if they use the same, if the endpoint you use to update an object use the same object type as the endpoint you use to get all those objects, it is, everything should be automatic. Like React Query is going to be on our end. You don't have to do anything. It's going to make sure everything stays up to date. So it's going to update your database and refresh everywhere you've been using that object type. So you don't have to refresh the fetch yourself manually, if that makes sense. Cool. Sounds like it's a little bit helpful to Abdullah, I hope. Okay. Go back to community, see if we can do maybe a couple more questions. So we were here. So as this one, those are resolved. Deleting action error. I think this one might have already been addressed. I haven't. Let's see. Now let me see. I have a number of action across the screen. I notice a sporadic error when deleting screen. I get error deleting screen. I've tried refreshing screen and doing it. I also notice sporadic behavior change in the action ordering. Sounds like it might be a little. I might not be able to reproduce that, but it is It is not great. Like Dave said, so we're gonna try to look into that. Okay, how about this one? Airtable 422 error, but data looks fine. Is it an RS field you can send issues as a consequence? Okay, sounds like Raul already took a stab at it. Conditional build up. What about this one? Conditionally build up data fields in REST API body with an empty array by default, then have a function that pushes the array into there when selected and the reverse. You could then pass to an action. Let's see, what was the question? I'm trying to submit data from a user form to the backend. The use case is I'm building a data capture tool for the user to manually enter data. Okay. They are selecting from a set of options. The user may get multiple issues. How can I have the issue array in the data below only reflect the selecting on the form? Unclear how the conditional easy. Each checkbox in the form has its own variable. In the data below, issues is the current I'm trying to build conditionally. Issues is the key I'm trying to build conditionally. That's an interesting question. So let's try to abstract some of it. Let's ignore the backend code even for now. Like, how do you, given a bunch of checkbox, how do you produce this list? Do you want to try to do that?
Okay, so in this case, it's asking if so there's a checkbox, and I'm trying to like get the full context of the question, right? So is this saying once you click on like a checkbox, all of the items or all of this data is going to like be uploaded per item?
Yeah, I would abstract some of that just to keep it simple and be like, you just have like, what happens if you have 5 text checkbox, they all have a different value, and you want, at the end of the 5 checkbox, you have a big submit button, and you want that submit button to send, and even just to log, it doesn't have to send. Let's subtract that. Just an array of the value that have been selected. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's sort of like you're pushing into the array per like once selected, you're pushing that particular item into the array.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I think it was Dave who mentioned. Yeah, pretty create like a start with the variable that you update.
Yeah.
I
I think I get the concept.
can try to take a stab at it. Some time to load. Let's see how far we can go with that. We have what, 5 minutes? Okay, array. So let's say we have checkbox. So we talked about having a checkbox group, which is probably what you would want to use in that case. We don't have that, so I'm gonna ignore that. So let's say you have a bunch of checkbox row. Checkbox row is essentially just like a checkbox with a label. It's as simple as that. So this one is going to be 1, this one's going to be 2, and this one is going to be 3, for example. And the value of this one is going to be initial value 2. Okay. This, I'm going to use a variable instead. 3. Okay. No, I was wrong about doing that. It's going to be the yeah, it's just going to be true or false. So if this one is false, so I'm going to call it true. So I'm going false. Makes sense so far? So that's how you've got your 3 checkbox. And what I want to see if at the end I've got to be like a big submit button. And I want that submit button to show me an array. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to put it in there. So when I click submit, the array should be up to date. So let's try that. By the way, I have no idea how to do it yet. I'm just going like step after step.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an array, right? So that's how like result type of array.
It's going to be a string array. Probably a string array or number array. Let's try a string array for now. Okay. So let's say I'm not sure we'll be able to get in that format, but that might be one of the ideal things. So 1, 3, for example.
Okay, well, shouldn't it be empty, like the initial value? Just in
Right, you're right. I just want to see if I can just show it on the page just now. Okay, 1, 3. And what I'm going to do is it's not the toString, it's the JSON stringify. Yeah, okay. So that's what we want. So we want that when I change those checkbox, that array changes to the right value. Right? That'd be pretty cool. Because then you can have like your user settings, and when you change them, you submit, and then you send that to your backend, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's another way to think of that question. I think it addressed what that person was trying to do, because then you just have to, then there's another layer of doing an API request with that array, but that's the difficult part. So let's start there. Okay, so how do we do that? What if
I think we have to add actions to the checkbox, like to each individual checkbox.
And what do you want those to do?
You should like have like a custom function, right, that pushes into our array. What do you want the array? Okay, our results. That pushes into like our results array.
That's a good idea. I like that. Okay, so is there a way? I'm going to try that. That's a very good idea. Just trying to think for a sec. Is there a way to do that without a custom function, like in no code? It's going to be tricky, because even if you create 3 variables, you set them. Yeah. All right, that's going to be tricky. So we're going to go with your approach. I think you're onto something. Okay, so it's going to be a custom function. We're going to call it
Maybe
date array, and it's going to take Boolean value. Okay. Now, how am I going to know? How am I going to know which checkbox? By the way, I'm not sure. Can I access screen variable through custom function? I thought we discussed that a while ago.
Yeah, isn't it under the same global variables, like with the app variables, device variables, screen variables?
Yeah. So do you think I can just use the variable thing we use for the custom?
Yeah, I think it should be able to work the same way we handle like global variables, and the same way we handle the whole app variable thing. It should work the same way, I think. Or you can just try to console log it first to see if that would work.
I'm a little skeptical here, but let's give it a try. Oh, where did you go? Did I not save it? Oh, I did. I'm going to rename a couple of things because I'm going to try to make it a little bit clearer. So we've got checkbox. I'm just going to first, I'm really just going to show that one thing. Oh, here it is. It was there. I don't know why it didn't show up. Okay, so update checkbox. I'm going to rename a couple of those variables if you don't mind. I'm going to call this one checkboxes. That's going to be the array of checkbox. So it's going to be a string array. Initial value just for fun. I'm going to do what I did earlier, which is 1, 3. Okay. Oop. Save 1, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to delete this one. Okay. So I'm going to update this. Just to show checkboxes. And it's the JSON stringify. Okay, so that works. Oh, wait. Here you go. Okay, so now back to my custom function. Oop. Every time I click the checkbox, I want to run that custom function. This one, which is going to take the value. Now, my question is, I need a way to know which checkbox it is. And I forgot, one thing I forgot is, can I have more than one and argument and just, I will specify it if that's the case. Checkbox value, let's see. It does. Okay, I can have more than one argument, so that's awesome. So by checkbox, I'm just going to say, I can even do 1. So that's the checkbox for the 1. And the value is, yeah, why do we still have a local state here?
Yeah, the value will be like the action data. The one.
Yeah, but like why? Because I do. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Okay, so now I can do that for the other one as well. I'm going to run a custom function. Yeah, update checkbox. The checkbox is going to be 2. And the value is going to be this one. I'm just doing a little side note here. I feel like that checkbox raw value, I don't even know if it should be there. I feel like that might be even like a little bit of a bug. Because I'm now using a local state. I could, but I'm not using a local state for this variable. I just defaulted them to whatever. Anyway, I'll look into that later. Okay, and the last one. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3.
But in this case, would the string array still work the way we want it to? Like since we have like both key and value in this case. Like since we already given it like we have 2 arguments, right? We're giving like names, like we have one to the current value, whether you take the checkbox or not. I'm just thinking, would the string array still function, or would it be like an object array?
I think, yeah, that's a good point. We can do, I think let's figure it out, but I think we can do both. I think we can use a string. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
So for now, okay, when I click here, it says 1 undefined, 2 undefined, and 3 undefined. So at least the 1, 2, 3 works, but that data does not work. And that's a little bit confusing. Why is that? Oh, why is it undefined here? Oh, maybe it is because we don't accept 2 arguments. Although that's confusing, because if we don't accept 2 arguments, I should not be seeing them here. Why am I not seeing that here? Well, folks, at least we figuring out a couple of bugs. Yeah, so that's never going to work because I'm always seeing undefined. Update checkbox. I don't know. Why is that value always... I'm expecting here there should be like a data on press that I can reuse here. That doesn't work here. Maybe it's a raw, maybe it's a checkbox raw thing. What if like, I just want to see maybe if it's a bug. So let me try to do another, I'm try to do this, the same thing, but with that, like with a different component. Yeah, because it's a little bit different. This one a little bit more up to date. So maybe there's a bug here. So when I, which one do I want? On check, I guess. I'll do it on press.
No, actually, it should
What was
actually be
that?
on check, right?
Well, but I also want to, because I don't want to do on uncheck. I figure like on press covers both cases, check and uncheck, right?
Yeah, okay, let's just try to console the log, what it gives us, just to be sure.
Yeah, so this one is going to be one. Okay, now let's see if this one did get the value or not. This is my checkbox. Okay, so this one has value. Okay, so I'm hoping, see, at least it's not undefined for my variable. So I'm hoping that will work. Weirdly enough, it seems to be using the, oh, I know why. Okay, almost there, folks. I'm just going to give it like a default value. So I'm gonna make it true originally. So now I bet, yeah, so now we got rid of that extra screen variable that was there by default, and this value works. So I'm hopeful that this will work. Let's try. Yeah, true, false, true, false. Okay, so it works. So there's a bug clearly with our checkbox row. So let's put that aside for now. We'll look into that. I'm gonna hide those and just very quickly. How long do we have? Oh, we're already over. If you have to go, feel free. I'm just gonna finish that example because I'm kind of curious now. So the way you do a checkbox row when manually is just by essentially creating your own label and checkbox, right? And so that's for the one. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to put this at the top. Okay, so I've got my first checkbox. I'm going to create another one for the two. I might just do, here we go, text and box. It's going to be label. This is going to be checkbox. This one's going to be true. Okay, that checkbox, we're going to have to set it the same way. So initial value is going to be, I'm going to make this one false. And when we click on it, we're going to run the custom function, which is essentially just console log. I'm going to pass it the argument 2 and the action data. Okay. And now so let's see if that works. Oh, I guess you can. Yeah. So false, true for the 2, and false, true for 1. So that worked. We were able to create those. Now back to my submit. Or I should say back to my function now. I don't want to just console log. I want to do something a little clever than that. I want to access my checkboxes object. And let's see if that even works. I'm not sure it does. I'm going to console log that first to see if that works. So I'm just trying to see if in that custom function I do have access to.
Yeah, although I think we need to export it first.
And
but
I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. Let me always. Oh, not what I meant to do. Draftbit. I always forget the proper syntax for that. Oh, maybe it's in global variable. Isn't it not in there? Which one? Variable with custom code. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So this is to access it in the custom code. And now to access it in the custom function, this is what I need to do. I thought we had made it so good that variable would work, but maybe we still have to do. You can do the following inside your user syntax. Okay, so maybe that's still, maybe that variable still didn't work. Let's find out. This is. No, it's still undefined.
Okay.
I think it might be because it's not. I don't think that worked for a screen variable.
No, I think we need to export.
Say it again.
I think we need to export it like in like under components, like go back, yeah, like export global variable the same way we would usually like export it. Like, let me drop it in the chat.
Yeah, we can try. I'm a little skeptical. Well, we can use this one. That might be just even. Oh, you want?
Since we're using it in like a custom function, we usually like export it out of the component, then use it in the custom function separately.
Right, but so what I'm getting at is that those global variable are going to be else in your config. Like the screen variable are going to be literally on your screen, right? They like.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I mean, I'm happy to try, but I'm a little skeptical. Who knows? Let me copy that. All right, so then you will do use value, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, and then variables like this. Is that what you had in mind?
Okay, so for that use values, you have custom code dot use values.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's try that. That'll be cool. Custom code use value is not a function.
Okay, let's open it again. Let's see if we have any syntax error there.
Set value. Oh wait. Let me try to do it this way for a sec. For variable context. Here. This. No.
Are we getting the name of the array correctly? Like, the array that we're pushing.
Right. Well, we can just show the variable. That way we get rid of that issue, potential issue. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I'm kind of assuming that I don't know if we can access screen variable. Actually, there's a good way to test it. Let me do just that, but instead of I'm going to do a global variable that's called
Not variable, right?
global. It's going to be actually I can even make it the same kind of thing just so we can compare. So now I have this global variable because I believe I believe that works when you just do I believe if I just do constant with just global, I think that works. Let's figure it out. Yeah, see, so that works when it's a global variable. And we go, I think we even go one step further, is we can do, I know we had a bug about it, but I think it's now fixed. So if I use variable, let's see. Okay, so that works now. You see that little number increasing, which means we're just adding. So I can access global variable, but I cannot access screen variable, which in my opinion, I mean, we need a way to do that, but it kind of makes sense that you don't access it the same way just because it's not even in the same location. So is there another way I could do that? What I want is this thing. Oh, maybe what if I just it won't work if I just refer to it as like the checkbox variable, right? I doubt it, but let's try. Oh, wait. Did it work? It might have worked. So we'll see. But the variable is at the screen of it, right here. And I'm writing that function. So essentially, checkbox is in that context. So that's how I'm accessing it. So with that in mind, let me try to now do a little like if the checkbox equal 1. Like I said before, I'm not a JavaScript guy, so I'm just gonna hack it together, and hopefully you'll fix my stuff. I'm just brute forcing it because we only have 3 stuff here. Checkbox equal 3. Okay, so when checkbox equal 1, I want the checkboxes 0 to be this value. Make sense? I'm sure I can do that with
The checkbox is an array, right?
Right. Yeah. So let's see. If it's coming from the number 2, it updated the second value in that checkbox array with value. I'm a little skeptical, but doesn't hurt to give it a try. Checkbox. Oh, I made a typo.
Yeah, I was asking like is checkbox an array? You're checking if checkbox is equals to 1, which is a string. I think you're able to check like if the value. Okay, no, the value is.
Well, it's gonna save true or false, which is fine by me. Let's see. Oh, wait, did you not do anything now? I'll try to refresh that. Ah. Oh, maybe I can
Just remove that.
get rid of this. All right, this is not great, but I'm still hoping it might work. Let's see. Why is it still that error? I just got rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm not console logging anything, so maybe I'll do a console log before and after the fact. So let's see. All right, so now I've got. All right, that's essentially what I meant to do. See, true and true, true and false, false and false, true and false. Okay, so now I've updated the right checkbox. Now the part I'm not sure about is, see, that text did not change because I don't, by updating it like that, I bet we did not properly, it's not properly reflected everywhere. What's the proper way to update the state of something? Oh, set state. Is that how you do it? Like, how do I update the state of checkbox itself?
Yeah, are you trying to push?
Yeah, right. So right now it says, for example, like true and false. And I want to change that. I want to change the state of checkbox to say true. Well, in this, I don't know. Let's start maybe with false and false. So what's the syntax? Do you know the syntax to change that?
Yeah, so it just keeps adding to it, right? But I lost it for like 2 seconds. But yeah, so you're trying to like add to the array instead of like replacing it or rewriting it.
But I do want to replace the first, just the first index. So my array at the end is going to be like the first object of the array is the first checkbox and all that. I guess, we can do a cleaner thing. Now we're getting over really, but let's go with what because this is a little sketchy. Maybe we can do what you described earlier and turn that into an object. So do you know what I mean? So here
Yeah,
instead of a string array, if we do like an object array, and then it will be of the type like key, it would be like 1, and then value false, right? And then another key 2, value false. Oh shit, that's supposed to be like this. Let's try it out. Okay, so that's my checkboxes. Why is it adding all those extra stuff? It's escaping it by default. I don't know. Oh, I think it's a string. It's not a string, it's an array. Do you have to type it again? Let me try. You know what? Maybe I don't even need the initial. Or I'll do one. I want to make sure it does work. Okay. Key 1 value false. Does that be okay? That worked. So now key 1 value 4. So the way we're going to do it is by having like 1 and 2 for the keys, and then the value is going to be the right value. So back to here, when I run my custom function, what it's going to do is, I guess I still have the same question. What's the proper syntax? And pushing to array, using set and pushing to array. What do you mean by that? Using set stage, you create a new array and set it as state. Can you guys like share the syntax with me? Do you know what it
yeah,
is?
that I'm trying to figure out the exact syntax because usually when we're changing variables, right? You like this set variable, the same way you like import, the same way you export like the whole use values and use set values and all that stuff. That how we usually change stuff from the global variables, but I'm not exactly sure how to change screen variables because there seems to be a different syntax of screen variables. Um, that's what I'm thinking.
What if I do? I guess that was stupid. What I should do? Okay, geez, it's
Okay,
gonna take
so
longer. But
Raul said it's supposed to like set checkboxes.
right, so it's flat. It's not an object anymore. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna go back to that. That might be just a little easier. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make it so it's an array. It's a Boolean array essentially. It can be false and false. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got my Boolean array. And this set checkbox. The problem is that I do need to. I don't know what the original one. I'm changing one. I don't know what the other one should be changed to. So so I know this one all of a sudden I want true, but this one I don't know its value. So I need to. Oh, I guess you had a little typo there. Yeah. So now, how do I get checkbox? I just do this and get the value of the second one. Is that correct?
Okay.
And here what I would do is take the value of the first one, whatever it was, and put the second one to true. Or actually to value, I should say. Okay. Does that seem possible?
Okay, so yes. So since the checkbox is one, meaning that's the first one, right? So you should have like the value. So the value being sent into is definitely the checkbox like one. Okay, yeah, that should work. And for two, it will be vice versa. Can you clear your console just to get a
Yeah.
little bit more?
All right, I'm just updating this quick because I changed those names. And true, and this one we're not doing anymore. Just gonna remove it entirely. Okay. Okay, so we're going somewhere. I'm gonna update the checkbox. Okay, and this text, it still uses. Okay, good. All right, let's try it. Okay, false, false. It's false, false. All right, so it's always false. It's not good. It's
Yeah.
not. This is initial value label.
False, false.
Oh wait, why is there? Um. Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually updating the one that I was hiding, so it's not good. Let me just delete those entirely, make things a little bit easier. Okay, so this is my checkbox one, initial value of true. Okay, so one, that's the data, and this is true. Okay, let's see now. No, still nothing. It's not visible. It's true at first, and then I run a custom function on press that is giving it the name of the checkbox I care about. Which, I should call it index. Yeah, that should be even better. By the way, Dave, I know David. Sorry, I'm going to call you Dave.
Yeah.
I know I'm going way over, so if you do have to go, don't feel free to drop off. I don't mean to like ruin your day because I just want to figure it out.
No problem. Figure it out together.
It's 1 or 2. So set checkboxes, the value, because it's the first one and whatever was used for the other one. And then first one and the value. Oh, checkboxes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's important. Okay, now. We have. All right, we might. We might get cut off from Crowdcast pretty quickly. So this reminder that I think we have a 2-hour max. It should be good for now. Okay. Force. So it's still doing force and force. Why is that? Oh, okay. So here I need, because I renamed those, I'm going to change that index. The value is still this. And for that, I should also change the index to true. All right. How about now? Geez, so many little things. Oh, here we go. Force. I guess it might be reversed, but like force true. Force true. True. Okay. One more thing. I'm going to stop showing
So
this.
it does work now.
I think it does work. Okay, so it was like starting off here. It's true. Now it's false, true, false, true, false, true. All right. So that's pretty awesome. The only, one thing there was a little bit of an odd thing at first. It was because those are set up to be, I'm going to set them all to false originally. That way it's much clearer. That way in here, my default value can just be false. And I think after this, okay, I think we're all done now. Let's try it. Let me just go back, preview. Oh. Gonna reload this. I think we got it working now. All right, preview. All right, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, true. All right, so that's it. Now we can essentially create an object, and then submit should essentially do a post request, an API request with that object, with that screen variable object that is now just a list of booleans. That's pretty awesome. Took much longer than I thought it would, but that was good. Thanks for the help with the syntax, with the set checkboxes, Rahul. That was helpful. All right. I don't think we clearly don't have time to tackle another question, so I'm going to stop here. But hopefully that'll going to give Andrew, once we post this video, a little bit of help. Whew, man, that was not easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, that was worth it. Actually, like explaining how to use screen variables within custom functions. So yeah, that was also important.
Yeah. All right. Well, David, I'll let you go. Thank you very much to everybody who listened to this and who's watching the recording. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you all again on next Tuesday. All right.
Yeah.
See you, David. Bye.